On April 30th, 2005, Chelsea Football Club dethroned Arsenal as the champions in England. 7,690 days later, Arsenal have regained the championship and are now champions of England. This is Red Card Radio. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whenever you're listening from. Thanks for tuning in. Red Card Radio is a weekly look at the Premier League from three friends who support different clubs. My name is James. I support Premier League champions Arsenal. With me tonight is Brad. He supports Chelsea. I don't even know where they are on the table. And down below is Sean. He supports Tottenham, who are scrapping it out to stay alive in the Premier League for another season. Boys, hello, good day. I hope you guys are doing as well as I am today.
Not quite, but I am doing very, very well. And I have a question. Does this mean it is written in the stars that Chelsea are to win next year?
I don't know if that's entirely.
I'm starting this already. I'm starting this already.
Yeah,
written in the stars.
Because the last time
Arsenal won, who was the next winner? You just said it.
I mean,
start off the Alonso era, winning some trophies. Let's go.
Not a chance. Not a chance. There's a world where Arsenal mess around and go on a run here, but we'll save that for another day. Maybe in 6 months we'll have that conversation. I don't know, but there is a world where Arsenal, especially if a certain news story that broke this weekend does come to fruition, there are some big things afoot in the Premier League that we do need to talk about this week. But before we get into it, if you could hit that subscribe button, ring the sub notification bell if you're on YouTube. If you're on one of the podcast sites, hit with a follow, 5-star review, drop a comment if you're on Spotify. Whatever your platform so allows, it really does help us out tremendously, and we appreciate it greatly. If you would watch to the end of the video and hit the share button, that also helps drive engagement and helps us tremendously. We really appreciate everyone for clicking on the video or the podcast. And without further ado, this is going to be 30 minutes of James gloating, celebrating. I don't know. What is it going to be, Brad? What is it going to be, Sean? What do you guys want to talk about? What should we talk about?
You know what? I'm excited for you as a friend. But you know what? Chelsea had a pretty good week too. I know we lost the FA Cup.
Wait, how?
We had a pretty good week too.
How?
Signed the number one manager on the market. Manager, not coach. Manager. He's the first manager since Jose Mourinho.
True.
And we beat Tottenham. Like, that's a good week for me.
But you also hold on. But you're also glossing over the fact that the fact that you lost a cup final.
What cup final? I don't know how that happened, bro. There was so much PR out there that like I don't even know what happened in the FA in the cup final. What's that?
I do appreciate that Chelsea held on to the announcement of Xavi until 12 hours later. Like 12.
Not even 12 hours later.
Well, the official announcement was the next morning.
Sure, but like literally an hour and a half later, like the press hadn't even left the box yet, and they're like, "Hey guys, we got Alonso. Y'all can post it."
Yeah. So that's probably going to be very good for Chelsea, or
I think,
or in 9 months, or in 9 months, you guys are sacking him and he's collecting a hefty payday. I think both are legitimate options. Like given Chelsea's track record over the last 5 years with coaches.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, but I do think that there is more of an emphasis because, like I said, his title is not coach. His title is manager. So he has different and more responsibilities than the last 3 chuckleheads they hired.
I saw some Tactico saying that his short list that he gave to Chelsea was Victor Boniface, Granit Xhaka, and Frimpong, and I'm like, this is the laziest bit of like. This is not even try. You're not even trying to do research or make calls. Like you're just naming players that were on his
Leverkusen side.
Yeah, that's the laziest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe he does want those players, but probably not. Maybe Xhaka. That Xhaka would actually.
I mean, the problem is Xhaka doesn't get in the team over Caicedo. Maybe he wants Xhaka on his coaching staff, because I mean the word on the street is that part of the reason why Xhaka wanted to come back to England was to work on his coaching badges and his coaching license. And so I definitely could see a world where Xhaka ends up on his coaching staff, which would be a tremendous appointment. Granted, Xhaka working and beating players until they do what they're supposed to do, until they have the mentality of somebody who has survived Eastern Europe.
I hear you.
That's
and
great.
I disagree with you on this staff because we already have somebody that can do that.
Do you?
That should be on the staff. John Terry. John Terry does the same exact thing, and brings in the Chelsea standards.
But is John Terry? He's not going to be part of the coaching team, is he?
Not right now. We don't know. Coaching team hasn't been announced as far as I'm aware, but I don't think he will be because he keeps calling out the ownership. So he's there like 2 or 3 times a week. He was kind of mad he wasn't the interim manager over Caleb. But like,
is it Caleb or is it Callum?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Gym teacher.
I should have known better.
Gym teacher 2.0. But hey, he got his first win. Got
a little help from the refs there.
Yeah, that's a good point. Why don't we just dig into that real quick before we talk about Manchester City?
I don't know what there's to talk about.
Tell me
your
feelings.
Fernandez goal? That was beautiful.
It was a fine goal, yes. You don't want to talk about the yellow card in the penalty box? That is not a...
Sir, there's no penalties on corner kicks. I don't understand this.
The ball was
kicked. There's no fouls on corner kicks.
He gave him a yellow card. This isn't a foul, no foul situation. He gave him a yellow card while the ball was in the air.
I don't know. Maybe he pulled on his hair.
But
it's still a yellow card in the box while the ball is in play.
But the ball wasn't in play because we don't call fouls on corners. So either the ball was in play and it is fair play because that's how they've reffed this for 36 straight weeks, or it's a foul before the quarter takes place. One or the other. It can't be both.
They're just inventing ways to screw over Tottenham is what this is.
They're just inventing ways to ref every game. Like every moment is a different way of reffing the game.
Can I ask this question? Was that equally adjudicated throughout the match? Like the way that corner was refereed in terms of what was allowed throughout the match, was that an outlier, or was that just like kind of how the game was refereed?
In my point, that doesn't matter because he called the yellow card. Yeah. And then at that point, VAR is already checking it. He kept pausing everybody from coming to his face because he's like, I'm talking to VAR. They're looking at it. Calm down.
Yeah.
And so VAR is already looking at it. Why didn't they look at when the ball was contacted to know if it was before or after? I don't know why that's not a reviewable.
Because I don't think that's part of like what's reviewable.
When the foul occurred,
it was called a dead ball foul.
Yeah,
therefore, you're looking at the foul, not whether or not it was a dead ball.
Well, I guess what my retort to that would be, if it's kind of like in football, in American football, once the ref's whistle blows, nothing that happens afterwards matters, right? And so the theory, I guess, is that he blew his whistle, and when he perceived that he was blowing his whistle was before the kick was taken. Right, like in his mind, he saw a foul before the kick was taken. He was blowing his whistle. So when he saw that foul, that ball hadn't been kicked yet. And so maybe it takes a half second for him to blow his whistle. I don't know. But so essentially to me, like the logic would be he saw a foul before the kick. But to your point, Sean, if what he's saying is I saw a foul before the ball was kicked, but but VAR can objectively show that what the ref was seeing as a foul was happening after the ball was kicked, then wouldn't that then come into like a clear and obvious situation? Or is that just getting too...
If he's calling the foul, that means he's looking at the foul and not the kicker, not the corner taker. So,
and to be fair, he's not supposed to be looking at the ball. He's supposed to be looking at the penalty area and just hearing when the ball is kicked. I don't know. I think my joke to you guys in the text message thread was, as the arbiter of all things foul, not fouls on penalty kicks, I have no idea what's going on here. And like
I don't think this is the most controversial thing, by the way.
And it was a mess too. Like that whole scrum. If you saw it, or if you, I don't know if you were, no, you weren't able to watch live, but if you've seen a video, like Van de Ven's getting fouled by someone else. I can't remember if it's Cucurella because they're holding. He's trying to go around this. No, I'm sorry. Cucurella is wrestling with Van de Ven, and Richarlison is trying to go around the kind of pile they had kind of built up to create confusion.
Van de Ven tackles Cucurella. Yeah.
I actually thought that Richarlison was being actually fouled. Whoever's trailing him has a fistful of his jersey and is not allowing him to go around the scrum like he wants to.
It was such a cluster.
Richarlison runs into Van de Ven, which knocks the both of Van de Ven and Cucurella over. And so
not a foul.
Then Cucurella gets the yellow, like out of that whole thing. It was such a mess that would fall back to clear and obvious area where nothing is clear and obvious about anything that just transpired. So I don't know. That would probably be VAR's default is, nothing is clear and or obvious about any of this.
That was the longest, wait, why did he get a yellow card? Conversation you just talked yourself into.
It's just random. But speaking of cards given, do you want to talk about the people's elbow that was dropped?
Oh, I think we should.
I think we definitely should, because that was high key a red card.
He tapped his elbow before. He was like,
he did. He raised the elbow. I saw him take off. He took off the pad.
Yeah, hit the ropes, hit the side ropes.
Here's a question: Was it worse? Was what Liam Delap did with his elbow worse than what Kai Havertz did? Which was worse? Liam Delap or Kai Havertz?
Kai Havertz. Cleats up into the leg is a broken leg. A flailing arm to the face isn't a punch, so it doesn't count.
I don't know. I think Havertz was clearly a red too, but
I kind of agree.
Happening to catch someone on the back of their leg with your studs is not the worst challenge. That's not a broken leg.
It certainly can be. It
can be. What do you mean? If that's a planted foot, that's a broken leg.
I take Brad's point, but I think that the veracity, the viciousness of how people are describing Kai Havertz's challenge has been blown slightly out of proportion. It was a lazy tackle, definitely meant to trip the guy. His goal was to trip him. He was just too slow, and he ended up putting the foot part of the you got your foot, you've got the toe area of your foot right underneath the ball, you got the ball of your feet, and then you got the heel area. He got who did we play? He got the Burnley player with the toe and ball of his foot area of his cleats into his calf. And yes, it was the planted foot. Yes, it was late. Yes, it was reckless. Yes, it should have been a red card. But it wasn't. He certainly wasn't trying to break the guy's leg. He was trying to trip him, and he was just slow.
I would delineate two things. One, just what you said at the tail end of that, intent. Yeah. Kai Havertz did not mean to do that. He's just lazy.
Well, he was tired.
He absolutely meant to do what he did.
Yes. Yes.
And then what Havertz, I would delineate the other way of Kai Havertz made a football play. It just wasn't a very good one. What Delap did was not a footballing play.
Yeah.
And he's done it over.
Yes.
This isn't the first time that Delap has done this. This is his Harry Kane tabletop maneuver. He does this so often.
Liam Delap,
really annoying.
He is the type of dude that would 100% be in a fist fight in every Sunday league match. If he was a Sunday league player, he would be in a fist fight every week.
Yep.
He's the dude at the basketball court that is just chirping the whole time, that is trying to fight everybody.
100%.
I'm going to make one more point, but then make a joke. If the elbow would have stayed down, he'd have been perfectly fine. I would have
It would have
no
been in on
problem with him
goal.
ramming into him with a shoulder and just kept your elbow down.
And would have been in on goal.
Or
Yeah.
if the arm's at like chest level, instead of looking at where the guy's face is and deciding to put his arm into his chin, like
Going like this,
Yeah.
like you're boxing out, because like he tried to play it off like he was boxing him out. No, we saw the. It should have been a red.
And then the joke
100%.
I
The
wanted to
lap
make-
deserved a red.
Can you imagine, James? Just close your eyes and take a walk with me.
I'm walking.
Just imagine the intellectual anomaly you would find if you had a conversation, if you just were a fly on the wall in a conversation with Liam Delap and Cole Palmer.
It would leave a lot to be desired.
Their combined 3 brain cells would be incredible. By the way, for those who did not see, Cole Palmer says he does not like the movie theaters because, and I quote, "the TV's too big."
Tremendous.
That's an exact quote.
That is on brand for who Cole Palmer is.
Oh man,
I love it. My exact response in the group chat was, I love him and I want him to succeed in football because Lord knows that boy couldn't do anything else. There's no way.
It's such
He's got to be successful at this.
It's such a Gen Z comment. Like it's such a Gen Z.
TV's too big.
Oh man,
That's phenomenal.
Sean, you'll have to tell us on Friday if you think that Spurs can find just a single point against Everton, a single point or more, or will West Ham overcome Leeds and stay in the Premier League? We'll have to talk about that on Friday.
Me and Brad have been thoroughly enjoying Lee EFC on Twitter.
Yes,
all
Leah?
season long. He has been, I think it's just Lee, but he's been on a generational run of trolling, both trolling Arsenal, trolling City, trolling Tottenham. If Everton are the reason that Spurs go down, his generational run will be culminated with the greatest day of his life.
Yes.
Trolling.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. I'm gonna bring up the Premier League table at this point in the podcast. It's a little bit late for us to be doing this. It's a little bit late for us to be doing this, but it needs to come up now because I think the next conversation that we need to have is we need to, of course, acknowledge that Arsenal are Premier League champions. 37 games played, 82 points. Manchester City, 37 games played, 78 points. Mathematically, there is no way that City can catch Arsenal. So Arsenal go into Selhurst Park. I assume that Crystal Palace will be giving Arsenal a guard of honor. Now, I've seen a number of guards of honors in my life, and all of them have been Arsenal players giving the guard of honor to other teams. And I tell you, it sucks.
It does.
It's awful. When Arsenal had to give Robin van Persie's Manchester United side a guard of honor at the Emirates in 2013 or 2014, whenever it was, that was awful. I hated it. And so this one was going to be quite nice. And so also the media can stop hounding Oliver Glasner about who he's going to play in this game and if he's going to play his starters or if he's going to rest players. The English media has been hounding this man for the last 2 weeks to get him to play his best players. But I say all that to also look at this race for 5th and 6th, and to a lesser degree, 7th. There is quite a scrap for these last few the last Champions League spot and the Europa Leagues and the Conference League spots. As it sits right now, Bournemouth are in 6th, 3 points behind 5th place Liverpool. They could end tied on points, but the likelihood would be that Bournemouth finish behind Liverpool because of goal difference. Brighton could catch Bournemouth. Chelsea could catch Brighton. Brentford could catch Chelsea and Brighton. Sunderland are technically not out of it. So we've got 4 teams, essentially 4 teams, vying for the last Europa League spot and the one Conference League spot. I think that's great. I mean, I know that Joel has been poo-pooing the fact that there won't be a title race going to the last day of the season. And I think if we're being honest. I don't. Was the last time that we had was
It was
I know that there was the
Centurions.
Centurion season. That was one. Obviously there was the Aguero season in what was that 2015, something like that when City first won it. And so like
yeah, it was Liverpool,
yeah, it
the
was
Liverpool 1920, right? Because
yeah.
they were
Yep.
they looked up, they were down, and then City took the lead or something, and then Salah just like took over. It was something along those lines where they
Well,
Bournemouth, was it Bournemouth too?
I know
That
there
was
was
at the head.
maybe maybe 5 years ago or so in 21, 22, something like that. I think that there was that season where City had Villa on the last day of the season at the Etihad, and Liverpool could potentially win it, and then Villa just rolled over. But I think the league race going 37 games is objectively pretty good. I think that's objectively pretty good. And so the final things that we have going this weekend are the battle for those Europa League spots and the relegation fight between between Spurs and West Ham. I think that's a decent amount of jeopardy to have going into Championship Sunday.
Some good spice. That's some very good spice. And we find out, like you said, European football is probably the biggest one. And even like this is silly, but Wolves and Burnley going down, £2 million is a lot of money.
Oh,
if
are they?
Wolves beat Burnley, that's worth £2 million.
Oh, because they're playing against each other.
Yes.
So this is the battle to not be the worst.
Hey, this is not the 100 million. This isn't the £100 million game. This is the £2 million game.
Yeah.
Which we might have to get into that £100 million game. Should we ever do that in the preview?
Yeah, we'll get into it in the preview.
Yeah, it'll be Friday.
Okay, that'll be Fridays. Cool, because that's spicy.
But yeah, I think I feel kind of bad for Bournemouth in a sense because they were beating City today. We're recording this on Tuesday, and they were beating City today going into extra time. They were up 1-0, and City get an equalizer in the 94th minute that ostensibly didn't mean anything. Like City needed to score 2 goals in order for it to mean anything. City needed to win the game. And if Bournemouth were right now sitting on 58 points, 1 point behind Liverpool, I think that would make that fight for 5th exceptionally spicy. Now it's entirely possible that it doesn't matter because Aston Villa win the Europa League and Liverpool and Bournemouth are both in the Champions League next year. Because
are they even at 4th?
Why would it not be?
I don't know.
That's what I don't understand.
I thought it was just at 4th.
Why does Villa have to finish 5th for the Champions? I forget
why, but there was a reason.
I just don't understand why. Is it because 5th was the coefficient spot?
Yes, it changes nothing.
Like it seems weird to me, but would anyone have predicted Bournemouth being in the position that they're in right now?
No.
Right? It's crazy. It's a tremendous season from Bournemouth. And would you have predicted this after they sold Semenyo in January? Even more now, right?
No, definitely not.
Like, if we think about what Bournemouth were last year compared to what they were at the start of this year, they lost almost their entire defense.
Oh.
What?
It's because England earns extra. It's an extra European performance spot. So we would have had 5th place would have dropped down to 6th. But because they finished top 4, they qualified as a top 4 team. So the number 5 is the
but wouldn't they qualify as
European performance spot?
Wouldn't they qualify as Europa League winners?
They would first qualify, but top 4 would qualify them for Champions League. It wouldn't be the European performance spot. So if they were 5th, that's the bonus spot because of the coefficient.
But what I'm saying is, isn't being the Europa League winner an automatic. Okay. England gets 4 entrants into the league phase automatically.
Yes.
Automatically.
Yes.
But the Europa League winner also gets an automatic entrance into the group stage, into the league stage, if I'm not mistaken. And so,
which would be so Aston Villa would either get, like, as top 4, you get placed into it no matter where you finish, whether you win the
Sure.
Europa League or not. If you're top 4 in the Premier League, you get it. So it doesn't matter Europa League finish. The 5th spot is a bonus spot based off coefficient. So if you have qualified because you won Europa League, then you're not the European performance spot. So it shifts down 1 and takes a Europa League spot.
Sure, but if you finish first and you won the Europa League, you qualified twice. Either way, I think it seems to be a silly rule. I digress. It is what it is. I think we've spent 25 minutes avoiding the elephant in the room, but Arsenal are champions. And despite what everyone wants to say, if this is the worst champions of all time, whatever, Arsenal thoroughly deserved this victory. They were the best team all year. I don't think it's a rational argument to make that they weren't the best team. And I'll point out this about the game against Burnley. I think this is the 6th time this season that Arsenal played a team and their expected goals on target was 0. Burnley presented no threat to Arsenal at any point throughout this game. Arsenal beat every single team outside of the top 6 at home. So from 7 to 20, Arsenal beat all of those teams at home. I think the only teams in the top 6 that we lost to at home was Manchester United. I think we drew Liverpool. I think we drew City. I know we drew City. I think we drew Liverpool. I know we lost to United at home, but I think we beat Spurs and Chelsea at home. Well, I guess Chelsea are out of the top 7. I think we beat Aston Villa at home. So we did lose to Bournemouth at home. So we lost to Bournemouth at home and we lost to United at home. But outside of that, we won 13-2-2 or something like that. That's not enough games, but you get my point. 13. Well, it's got to be 15-2-2, something like that. Arsenal were immense at home this season. Arsenal had the best defense by a country mile. We conceded 26 goals so far in the Premier League. Next best was City at 33. I think if you talk to anybody coming into the season, you only concede 26 goals in the season. I think every single person is saying that team is probably winning the Premier League. At least they've got a damn good shot.
They should be winning the league. Yes, 100%.
I started watching football in 2026. Excuse me, in 2006. I started watching football. Yeah, right. It's a Freudian. I started watching football in 2006. I fell in love with Arsenal 20 years ago. And in that time, I didn't know how far Arsenal would fall. Because when I started watching, they were in the Champions League final. I didn't know anything about football, but I knew who Real Madrid was, and I saw Arsenal, whoever Arsenal was, beat Real Madrid. And so I was like, I'm going to check them out in FIFA. And so then I just started following. It's the organic American kid way of finding a team, right? But all I knew was that Arsenal were just this huge club, and they won a lot, and I was like, okay, this is a good pick. And then they proceeded to go on a 20-year run after that, in the 20 years that I've been watching Arsenal, they were competitive in the league for the league title 5 times. These last 4 seasons under Arteta, and I think, maybe 6 times. Twice under Wenger. Right? We won a few FA Cups.
The joke was that Arsene Wenger's spot was fourth.
Right?
Just qualify for Champions League.
The Arsene Wenger trophy. Yeah. Like he got memed into oblivion for that. But if we're being honest, everyone knows that it's kind of like, especially now, qualifying for the Champions League is incredibly important because of the monetary value of it. It was equally as important 20 years ago. And that's all he was trying to say by that. But I was starting to get a little bit worried. You know, back when Liverpool won their first Premier League title, I was like, man, like Arsenal haven't done this in 18 years at this point. And I was like, I don't know if Arsenal are going to, like, there's a world where Arsenal get beyond 30 years. Like I was sitting there, because like, I mean, if you think about Arsenal in 2019, 2020, it was like the lowest of lows, right? It's hard to believe how far Arsenal have come over the last 5 years in terms of what the club was 5 years ago to what it is today. It's entirely different.
At that point when Liverpool won, you had a bad roster with bad attitudes and people who didn't respect showing up on time or meetings or training. None of that mattered to anybody in the building. You had completely lost your way.
Yeah.
6 years ago, 7 years ago.
It was very difficult to be an Arsenal fan of that, especially, you know, watching Chelsea do what Chelsea does, seeing Chelsea win another Champions League, and seeing City go on the run that they went on. Like that was very difficult to stomach. And occasionally we would win the FA Cup, you know, and like that was some sort of solace. And I do love the FA Cup.
And the year at that point, the year prior, Tottenham was in the Champions League final. Like it's success all around you.
Yeah, like it was tough. It was tough to stomach. It's been a weird day for me personally because I've been remarkably calm. I thought that I'd be more excited. I know that my sister asked me last summer. She's like, think about the last year that you've had, the last calendar year. And how good, like I rated it out of 10. And I was like, and I feel like I've had a pretty good year. I was like, give me like a 7. And then she asked me, what would it be to make your next year a 10? And she looked at me and said, if you say anything about Arsenal, I said, if Arsenal win the league. That's what I said. I said, if Arsenal win the league, I will have a 10 out of 10 year. And so I was kind of surprised with how calm I was today. Like watching. Obviously, I got excited when Bournemouth scored their goal. I got excited when Bournemouth almost scored 2 goals in the 85th minute. But after that, like, I didn't like run around the house. I didn't scream. I didn't like fist pump and gesticulate and get all as excited as I thought I would. I oscillated between very calm and like on the verge of tears. Like it was a really strange moment for me. The last 6 hours that I've had. Like it's hard for me to like kind of express and put into words like where I've been at emotionally, because I thought that I'd be way more excited, but I haven't been. And so I don't know. Maybe it was just expectation after these last 4 years, with Arsenal coming so close and being so deserving over the last 2 years, I would say, and that, you know, this point finally getting it over the line. Perhaps it was just like expectation at this point. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I just rambled for the last 10 minutes. I'm not sure, but
you did, but it's fine because you're champion, so you get that time, right? I got that time to be excited for Champions League. He got that time for excited for Europa League. You get that time to ramble here, sir. Congratulations.
I could tell you though, if we would have got that penalty call and we put the penalty across in extra time, they would have called the cops on me for some random dude is in the corner of a Royal Farms parking lot screaming in his car by himself, mind you.
Interestingly, it's arguably like more emotionally difficult what you're having to deal with, because like
We're bad. That's
yes,
why.
getting relegated.
I can't trust them to do anything right.
Yeah,
that's what's so difficult about it.
Yeah, getting relegated is like turbo nuclear bad.
So I saw the build up to our second goal, and it starts with whoever your right back was.
Nobody.
Dogie passed to Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer.
Pass to space, in which Cole Palmer perfectly runs onto to set the break. I'm like, what are you passing it to?
Yeah,
just moronic behavior. It's infuriating.
It's impressive.
So, but anyways, you deserve the floor. I have purposely not said congratulations because I will not. But I will congratulate you personally, James, on being
That's
a
what
fan.
my congratulations was.
Yes.
My congratulations is about Arsenal.
I have purposely not said congratulations for winning the trophy. But congratulations to you personally.
I know where you guys are coming from, because in the same way that I don't enjoy you two being upset that your teams are trash at different points and for different reasons, I don't like seeing you have to struggle with relegation, Sean. I don't like you. I don't like Brad.
Yes, we do.
Well, no, I don't like Sean. I don't like seeing Sean have to deal with it. I think it's funny from like a Tottenham perspective, but we've also established that I don't necessarily have beef with Tottenham. I have a fiery disdain for Chelsea. And so all of the bad things that have happened to Chelsea over the last 4 years, I have actively rooted for and been happy that they happened. I'm not happy that my friend is disappointed in like something that he invests his time and his energy in disappointing him. But so I take your point. But I did have to wear this season's Arsenal jersey today as my celebratory hoorah.
Is that going to the front of the closet? Is that gonna be your first kit for season 7? Season 7?
Yeah, probably. It will be season 7 in August. Probably, but only because of the way that I have structured my uniforms. Everything is chronological in my closet, and it always goes home kit and then like away kit, alternative kit, goalkeeper kit if I have a goalkeeper kit from that season. So the home kit is always first in the season, and I won't have bought next season's jerseys by August. So by a technicality, this will probably be the first jersey that I wear next season. But I guess now I can get Championship Premier League patches on next season's jersey. Even though I hate Premier League patches on the jerseys, I might actually do it.
I'm gonna have that gold one right here with the next kit I buy.
We'll talk about whether or not Arsenal win the Champions League. Did we even mention that last week that Arsenal are into the Champions League final? I don't know. I don't know what we've talked about when we haven't talked about. But on Friday, I know exactly what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about probably Tottenham, probably West Ham, but you'll have to tune in to find out. In order to do that, you'll want to hit the subscribe button, ring the sub notification bell so you're alerted when we drop that episode on Friday. Hit us up on social media. That guy up top is at KSBradG. Down below is at Whiteheart_Sean. I'm at James Tiffany. Collectively, we can be reached at Redcard_Radio. Join the Discord community. It's in the description of this video or podcast, and you can chat with us there. Until then, go celebrate Arsenal if you're a Gooner. If you're not a Gooner, I don't know, complain on the internet. You guys have been good about that all year. So complain on the internet. We'll talk to you on Friday.